Army generals.
Shout out to Hate Army.
Your name is Hate Army? Saying Hate Army shit.
Hate Army shout out.
Good vibes to the Hate Army.
Shout out for hate.
Today's my react day, meaning every single Saturday, we do a major show that has, me reacting to clips as submitted by the members of my sister channel, DSP Reacts. And this week, again, tons of variety in the clips, although admittedly this week, I do feel there was a couple people that are trying to, how can I say, not necessarily derail the show, but pull that show in a direction we're not going to go. I think it's been many weeks that I keep telling people I'm not interested in lolcow stuff, and people keep posting up lolcow clips. There's people posting up now, like, sexual clips and stuff like that, and it's like, all right. Today on that show, we're definitely going to lay down the law so people understand the criteria and what the show is supposed to be before people try to pull it in directions it's not supposed to go, all right? And it's not to say that I'm not open to reacting to a certain kind of content, but if I've already reacted to it and it wasn't very good and I wasn't interested in it, then why are you going to keep posting up the same stuff? Doesn't seem to make sense, right? Last week's react show was really good. I think last week's DSP versus the internet was one of the best I've ever done because we had variety. It was like moving around completely different kinds of topics and things, and it was actually quite entertaining and fun. And each segment, because I split it up into like 20 to 25 minute segments, had like one really good standout clip that I reacted to, and I really felt like it was entertaining. Very entertaining. One of the most entertaining ones I'd ever done. This week, it'll remain to be seen because I haven't watched all the clips yet. But, going through the playlist last night, I can definitely tell you there was some stuff there that you can tell people are like, haha, let's get them with this one or whatever. And it's like, it's not the point of the show. All right. But anyway, I'm excited to do the show every week. It's fun. It's a good variety show. It splits up the content rather than it just being about gameplay. Having that variety is very nice. After this podcast ends, we're all going to move over to DSP Reacts and do our weekly react show where I'm reacting to the clips that members have nominated. A good variety of stuff. Ultra members guaranteed to get their clips watched, and standard members all competing. I want to say this week there was like over 60 nominations, but I had to eliminate a few because, like I said, some people just are basically either not paying attention to the show at all, or they're not listening to what I'm saying, or they're purposely trying to do stuff to kind of, either annoy me or stuff they know is not going to work. Like I said, if you've nominated the same clip 4 weeks in a row and I've purposely skipped it, there's probably a good reason. At some point you gotta like use your brain, I guess, but some people don't. Let me just keep submitting the same fucking clip over and over. No, I'm not going to watch it, and I don't need to specifically reach out to the person to tell them why. They should have some common sense. But I guess some people don't. I don't know. But for the most part, most of the clips were fine, and it's gonna be a good show. It usually is a good show, good variety show. I enjoy doing it. It really is, one of the major reasons why that channel works, because as I told you guys, the vast majority of content that I put out on DSP Reacts isn't really monetizable. This show I'm doing today is not monetizable. I can't have ads running on any of these videos because we're reacting to other people's content, and 9 times out of 10, the videos get fully claimed. So it's not like I'm making ad revenue on this show, but the memberships, that's what makes the channel viable for me. So I hope that you guys would consider becoming a member or possibly upgrading your membership to an ultra membership if you're a standard member to make sure your clip gets in there on the show. That's it. Now, other shows, yes. For example, if I do a review of a show or a movie, the tier maker stuff, that stuff is definitely monetizable, all right? So there is some ad revenue to be had, just not a lot. It's more about the membership buy-in, okay? And also, of course, it's about supporting the stream. So, for example, if you like the React stuff, support today's React stream, all right? That's a great way to do it, is if that stream does well, that helps the channel continue to be successful, okay? The only thing we really need to determine for this month at this point, am I going to do any kind of a long-form React event on the end of the month? Every month since I started DSP Reacts, I've been doing a long-form React event. The first month I did the Pro Jared documentary. The second month I did the Wings of Redemption documentary. And just this last month I did the Internet Historian marathon. So do we want another one at the end of this month or not? Now, yesterday I released a video on DSP Reacts, essentially a 3-month summary of what I think about the channel and trying to get feedback from my viewers. And I've gotten a lot of feedback already, all right? Here's essentially the feedback I'm getting. DSP versus the internet is a fun concept, but it's kind of disjointed, and a lot of people like it and a lot of people don't. It seems to be like a 50-50 split. Some people like the idea of watching a show where you don't know what you're going to watch, and like the idea of becoming a channel member and submitting their clip and getting their clip watched because it feels like they're an interactive part of the show. They've actually, contributed to something cool and interactive on the internet. That's the point of the show, in my opinion. But a lot of people are of the impression that the show is too disjointed, it's too random, and quite frankly, there's a lot of people who submit the same kind of clips every week, and because of that, it gets stale. I would actually completely agree with that sentiment. I think that last week we had a good, perfect mix of variety where it was like, okay, we had a food clip, but then we had a comedy skit, but then there was an animation, but then there was a documentary, but then there was another thing, like a comedy video, someone falling, and then it was it was something different, like almost the entire show last week was variety, and it worked well. I think what happens is people see one video and say, oh, that worked, and immediately 10 more people must submit the same kind of video, thinking, well, if that clip worked, mine will too. But I don't think so. I think really the thing that works the best about the show is good variety, having a variety of stuff. So there's nothing wrong with a food video, but if there's food videos from the same exact country every single week, then it can get stale. You understand? So that's what I'm thinking, and I think that's what it is. Some people just like the same thing every week, but a lot of people don't. They want variety. That's kind of the point of the show, So we'll see. Again, today we're going to see when we do it what works, what doesn't. Like I said, after 3 months, I really felt like last week's show was one of the best, if not the best. We'll see how it works today. Like I said, I'll be honest with you. Today there was some stuff that I know for a fact people put in there to try to cause problems, and we'll talk about it when the show airs, after this podcast, okay? So, there you go. What can I say? So, as you know, once a week on Saturday, I do a react show where it's a clips show. It's basically my channel members on that channel. This is my sister channel. You can find it at youtube.com/@DSPReacts. It's been in operation now for 3 months. And every Saturday we do the show. Members nominate clips for me to watch. And it's a big variety show. The whole point is that I'm watching variety of stuff from all over the internet. Well, I've noticed a pattern. In the last 2 to 3 episodes, we keep getting very, very similar submissions. All right? And so I kind of talked on the show yesterday about this. I said, the best way to have a variety show is to have it be variety. And I understand if, for example, I reacted to a clip and you liked it. You're like, oh, I'd like to see Phil do that again. But the problem is if you keep doing it over and over and it's so similar, it gets boring. So think of it this way. You have a favorite comedy show that you watch every week. And the first week, they tell a really funny joke. Wow, that's funny. That's good. But then you watch it the next week, and they tell the same joke. So, all right, you might laugh. Okay, maybe it's a running joke. But then when it has the third week, the fourth week, it's the same joke. It gets tired. It gets stale, and it kind of gets annoying, right? Like, why are they still doing this? That's kind of what I'm feeling with the react show, is if we keep doing the same kind of clips every single week, it's going to get played out. And so, for example, there's been certain kinds of food vlogging. There's been certain kinds of skits, comedy skits, animations, things, that it seems like every week we're doing the same stuff. So I kind of laid down the law yesterday during the show, and I was like, guys, the best way to go about this would be variety. And why don't we think of it this way? Maybe there was stuff that worked 3 months ago when I started the show, and we haven't done it in a long time. And I was thinking in my head, man, some of those tourism vlogs that we actually started with were quite interesting. Why don't we go back to those? Or remember there was the bike delivery guy? Those were really fascinating videos. We did 2 of them, and now it's been 3 months. We haven't looked at another one. So I'm thinking in my head, man, there were things that might be refreshing every once in a while to go back to. Why don't we do stuff like that? So I'm just saying, I hope people understand. I wasn't trying to get on people and be like, oh, your submissions are bad or anything. Oh, look at these twitching whales. But the point is, it's a variety show, and for it to succeed, you really do need to have variety and not the same thing week in, week out. So what I'm going to do next week is be a little bit more selective. All right, now if you're an ultra member of DSP Reacts, which means you're the highest level member on that channel, you're guaranteed to have your video clip watched. But I kind of forewarned the ultra members because there was 1 or 2 of them that tried to sneak something in there that's kind of not what we're going for on the show. We had a cooking vlog where literally the real reason for the cooking vlog was because there was a woman who was wearing this insanely skimpy dress, and the video has 2.6 million views on YouTube. Literally every comment on the video is about the woman, not about the food. That's the whole point. You can tell they were trying to go for that kind of attention on YouTube. I don't want to watch that kind of video. All right, I'm not interested in it. It's stupid, and I don't want people to become an ultra member and then be submitting videos that I'm not interested in. I'm not going to watch. You know, watch it for what, 30 seconds and skip it. It's dumb. So be in line, you know, with the requirements of the show. Meaning it's got to be not adult rated. It's got to be not kids rated. It's got to be something that's for an audience that's going to be entertaining. That's not over sexualized content. It can't be overly gory, because that's the other thing. Like, YouTube, sadly, with gore has a lot of issues. So if there's a video that has gore in it, it might get flagged. It might get blocked. You know, it sucks when you're doing something different, right? Because if I'm playing a video game, whatever's in the game goes, right? Literally, whatever's in the game is fine. But when you're doing a different kind of channel like this, sadly, you do have to kind of work out what works and what doesn't, and what's going to be allowed and what's not. And the longer we get into doing this, you know, it's now been 3 months. Sadly, you see certain stuff doesn't work, or YouTube doesn't like it, or doesn't agree with it, and that's the kind of content we gotta you know, kind of get away from. So if you're interested in the show, check it out. 3 parts are live as of this morning. 3 more parts will go live over the course of the week. It's a good variety show, although you never know what you're going to see. The members seem to love it. I mean, more and more people every week become members and start nominating videos. I think, you know, now we have over 100 members on the channel, which is outstanding. I mean, that's really how I make money on that channel, quite frankly, because I can't really monetize those React style videos because they're all owned by other people. All that content is someone else's content, and usually on YouTube, sadly, there's content ID match, and, you know, you can't even get ads on those. So, just so you know, we're trying to improve the show, or I'm still going to keep doing it every Saturday. So today, only one stream, the Level 1 podcast right now, obviously, and then Star Wars Jedi Survivor continuing on. First up, since it's my only stream of the day, I'd appreciate it if you guys could engage and support with the stream, whether that simply means talking with me, liking the stream. That's engagement. It helps a lot. And if you could support the stream in any way, whether it be a super chat, a super sticker, a membership, a gifted membership, or a tip, it would all be greatly appreciated, because I'm only doing the one stream. And thank you in advance to anyone who goes above and beyond. Keep in mind, that's my job. That's my living. That's my income. I don't have partnerships, sponsorships, no product placements, no plugs. What I make on a stream is what I make in a day. So thank you to anyone who supports it, okay? So I guess that's it.
Stingy little beggar.
Wow.
To find it in your heart next time, eh?
Wow, what an asshole. Stingy, you call me a stingy little beggar. What a piece of shit.